What's his name?
Spencer. He's a war hero. The Stone Killer.
Today, we begin making Montana a playground for the elite. I'll destroy everything they fought for.
I'm trying to prevent a war here.
It ain't preventable.
He wants to take this place from us.
You're 30 miles from anything. Where are you headed?
Montana. Family needs me.
This is a hard winter. I pray Spencer can get here.
Time to build that army you promised me.
This Spencer Dutton scares me. Killed him, and he killed a whole lot of them.
Of all the things I've had to do for this ranch, takes a cake.
My family is in danger. My wife is lost to me, and I don't have time.
We'll carve this place to pieces.
They can try, but that ain't happening.
Anything worth having is worth fighting for.
1923, new season streaming February 23rd, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
The second season of Taylor Sheridan's epic drama series 1923 will premiere Sunday, February 23rd, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This season, A Cruel Winter. Sound familiar? I feel like we're going through one right now. Brings new challenges and unfinished business to Dutton Ranch.
Yeah, and get this, the entire series is produced by MTV Entertainment Studios.
And this morning, ahead of the season premiere, is Julia Schlaepfer. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So it seems like there's been such a long time between season 1 and season 2, that break in between. How exciting is it to start season 2 now?
It's been so exciting. We've all been very anxious, as we know the fans have been, but we're so excited to be back and ready to tell the rest of the story.
Yeah, you mentioned telling the rest of the story. We mentioned long, cold, hard winter. How is that woven into this season?
Yeah, this season is so much about survival and about the ways that nature and this really, really harsh winter, especially in the 20s, affects everyone's way of life. And it really is about how far everyone is willing to go and how much they're willing to sacrifice to survive that winter.
You know, Julia, you have scenes with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. You know, when you interact with them, how is that? I mean, not like you're nervous, I assume, because you're a competent actor, but they're Hollywood royalty. I mean, what are you thinking when you're in a scene with these people?
Oh, it really does never get old. It still makes your heart flutter a little bit. It's such an honor, and they're not only acting legends, but they are just the coolest people in the world. They're so funny and so humble and so kind, and so they're just, I mean, you hope that when you meet your idols that they live up to it and they just exceed all expectations. It's really special.
Yeah, they always say that's dangerous, meeting your idols. So
I'm glad it can be tricky.
off.
Yes, for sure.
And Julia, now that we're in season 2, how does the story really expand on the Duttons families, their struggles, and really expand on that family story?
Yeah, it continues forward, and at the end of season 1, we don't quite know yet how the family is going to continue and who's going to make it in this story and how the Dutton family line is going to continue forward. And so we find a lot of that out this season, and we just continue to watch them fight for their family and fight for their legacy. It's a brutal season and it's a long journey, but they're fighters. They're definitely fighters.
And Julia, you know, it's great to talk to you now and to hear your actual accent, but you have a British accent on the show. How hard was it to prepare for that? Did you have a dialect coach?
I did. I had a dialect coach, Jessica Drake. She's incredible, and I worked with her for about a month before we started filming. And then my director is British as well, and we got really close. And so every day on set, I was like, make sure if I say anything wrong, you let me know because I don't want to mess this up. But yeah, it was so much fun to work on.
What would you say is the biggest difference here when we're talking about the second season and what fans can expect to see from the first one?
The first season, I feel like, there's a lot more levity. There's this great sweeping romance between Alex and Spencer. And in season 2, it's much darker. I hate to say it's a bit more brutal. And, again, it's really all about survival and trying to find one another again. Everyone is trying to find each other and come together and be a family. So there are just as many adventures, but different kind of adventures, I would say.
It's such a realistic period piece. I have to ask, how glad are you that you actually don't live in 1923? Right. It looks so harsh out there on the ranch.
So harsh. I don't know how anyone did it back then. I mean, it's just so rough and brutal. I will say that I do sometimes wish I could throw my phone out the window and exist in that sort of piece, but yeah, especially, Alex is traveling alone as a woman in the 20s, and that's not any easy feat either. So very, very happy to be here.
Well, we're glad you are. Julia, thanks a lot for joining us. Paramount Plus is where you can see it on this Sunday, February 23rd, 1923, Season 2. Thanks a lot, Julia.